Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday, the 8th of January 2025, and I am Graham Hughes. Welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. I'm not in a good mood today, so if you don't want your day ruined, you might want to watch some other video, because I'm going to go on one hell of a rant about the fact that Donald Trump, Mango Mussolini, Fat Hitler, Cheeto Voldemort, is threatening to invade with the military Panama and Greenland and Canada and Mexico. But for me, I have a place in Panama, and Donald Trump is currently fucking with my life because that place was my ticket out of here if things really went to shit, and it looks like he's going to shut that off. Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. Sit down, gather around with me, all right? I'm the guy who said that Trump will probably win because all the billionaires want him to win, okay? I did say that. I'm on the record, speaking live to you. I got told to shut up by everyone I was talking to. Shut up, Graham, he's not going to win. Yeah, he did win. Here's what's going to happen. The US president has fuck all power when it comes to domestic issues. The reason why the president of the United States has fuck all power when it comes to domestic issues is because any domestic issues have to go through Congress. Congress is made of two chambers, a lower chamber called the House of Representatives and an upper chamber called the Senate. A bit like our House of Commons and House of Lords. Only somehow even less democratic. Who knew? Anyway, the situation that he has in the House of Representatives is this. To win any vote, he needs like 100% of his representatives, the Republican representatives, voting for the bill. 100%. Or it ain't getting through, right? So every single one of those 200 plus members of the House of Representatives who represent Republican areas, Republican districts, all they need to do is say, "Hey, Mr. Trump, I want an arena. I want a stadium for my city. I want a stadium." And Trump will be like, "I don't really have the money to be buying you a stadium, lad. How about you don't have a stadium and you just vote for it anyway?" "Well, I'm not going to vote for it then." That's going to happen a lot, right, over the next couple of years. So Trump is going to have, he's not going to have an easy time of it domestically. But here's the thing. The American system is fucked from the top down, right? And the bottom up. The American system puts one squishy little human being, usually a man, always a man so far, in charge of not just the government. They're also the head of state. They're also the head of the army and the navy and the air force, and therefore the Navy SEALs and the Green Berets. They're also in charge of the Coast Guard. They're also in charge of Homeland Security. They're also in charge of the Department of Justice. They're also in charge of the FBI and the CIA and the CDC. You know what that means, don't you? He can tell the American military to go and invade Panama. And no one, let me make this very clear to you, even the people at the back who aren't paying attention, put the popcorn down, one sec, listen to me. Nobody can stop him. One of the reasons why he's talking about invading countries and about tariffs is domestically, he's going to be neutered. He won't be able to do much. But daft foreign military adventures, ka-ching, he can do as many as he likes. He can threaten as many countries as he likes. He can take as many territories as he likes. That is up to Trump and Trump alone. He does not have to ask anyone's permission. And don't forget, now that the Supreme Court have said that anything he imagines is legal, if he tortures people in the countries that he sends his troops into, he can never be found culpable for ordering his troops to torture civilians. Or even military people. I mean, that's against the Geneva Convention. So there's two things that the president pretty much has unlimited power on. One is setting tariffs that happened in the 1930s because of this ridiculous act that was brought in. Fans of Ferris Bueller might remember this. That essentially brought in tariffs because they thought it would get rid of, the Great Depression that was on its way, and it made the Great Depression even greater. Or less good, to put it another way. So that all the power to set tariffs was given to the president. And then about 10 years later, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. And so they made a new act which said that the President of the United States can invade any foreign territory he bloody well likes and doesn't have to ask anyone's permission to do that. So he can set tariffs, invade places. But Graham, I hear you say, you technical people at the back who studied a bit of American politics during your politics degree, hang on, it says here that Congress can tell him to withdraw the troops if they have a vote on it, and then he's got 6 weeks to withdraw the troops. Two things I'll say to that. First of all, he can do a lot of damage in 6 weeks, especially if you've got nuclear weapons. And secondly, who controls what Congress votes on? Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. He decides what gets voted on and what doesn't get voted on. And he doesn't have to ask anyone's permission. Do you see? Do you see how the system works? Do you see how fucked it is? Now, until this particular round of Speaker, just one member of either party could trigger a vote of confidence in the Speaker. They've changed it now, so it has to be 9 members of the Republican Party. So there's no getting rid of him. Mike Johnson's going to be there probably for a very long time, I think. I mean, we were talking about him being out by the end of the year, but actually, I don't think Trump gives a shit domestically what happens. I think he really just wants to fuck up as many lives as possible. And I have a question for you. Hang on. I'm going to say thank you to One Angry Pagan first. I wonder if he actually will, though, F Trump. Yes, he will. Of course he will. Well, who's going to stop him? Thank you very much for the super chat, but who's going to stop him? He's got his heart set on taking back the Panama Canal, which wasn't built by Americans, by the way. It was built by pretty much slave labor from the Caribbean countries, especially Jamaica. 27,000 people died building the damn thing, and none of them were American. They just broke Panama off from the rest of Colombia in order to build the goddamn canal, which they ruled over until 1999 and took a lot of money, lots and lots of money. Nice juicy money. The reason why the Panama Canal is getting more expensive is because of climate change. Climate change means that there's less rainfall in Panama, which is technically a rainforest, but there's not been that much rain over the last few years, and it means that Lake Gatan, which is the middle of the oh god, this is my specialist subject. It's in the middle of Panama, which is connected. It's an artificial lake. It was made when they made the what's it called, the canal. It's not as high as it should be, and they need loads and loads of water because every time a ship goes through those locks on either side of the mountain range, they have a lot of water goes out into the sea. A lot of water goes out into the sea. So they're cutting down on the number of boats that can actually traverse the Panama Canal and how much it costs to do that. And it's got nothing to do with China. China are busy building a fucking canal through Nicaragua, mate. I mean, they're not really that arsed about the Panamanian Canal. But here we are. So Trump is in a situation. Oh well, we're in a situation now where Trump can basically do what he wants, right? So I have a question, Mike. There are hundreds of American immigrants living in Bocas del Toro, where my island is. Okay, they call themselves expats, but they're immigrants, right? Many of them are retired. Many of them have health problems. Almost all of them voted for Trump. Here's my question. What the fuck do you think that the native people of Panama are going to do with these wealthy Americans that live on islands in an archipelago in Bocas del Toro if a single Panamanian citizen is killed by an American soldier? What do you think they're going to do? Would you like me to draw you a picture? And this is it now. This is going to be our set default mode for the next 4 fucking years, at least. Crisis mode. Just going, oh my god, what now? What now? Oh, for fuck's sake, every fucking day. Trump is insane. But I would argue that the people who voted for that motherfucker are even more insane. Like, how stupid, and I mean, it goes beyond being stupid. How lazy do you need to be? How bored are you? You've got more sports than ever before. If you're into sport. You've got over 40 years of video games to play. You can play all of them. You can mod things. You can get an emulator for your PC. You can play all those games dating back to 1979. 45 years of games. In the 80s, we didn't have that. You had Daley Thompson's Decathlon on the Specky and Chucky Egg, and that was about it, right? You didn't have thousands of titles to choose from. You didn't have thousands of channels to choose from. You didn't have TV on demand. How are people so bored that they're like, oh, do you know what? I think that politics should be like really fun and exciting. I think it should be like the World Wrestling Federation or Enterprise or whatever the fuck it's called these days. I think it should be like WWE Wrestling. Yay! Everyone have a fight. Fuck me. These people walk amongst us. And I know people in Panama, Americans, in Bocas del Toro. And when I argue with them about Trump, which is one of the reasons why I left, by the way, in 2016. And I went back for a little bit, but then I left again for good in 2017. One of the reasons why I didn't really want to be there anymore was because of, every time I spoke to an American, they were like, yeah, hey, what do you think of Trump then? Isn't he great? And one of the things that was said to me more recently when I was in Panama, an American said, yeah, but the thing about Trump is he didn't start any wars. That's why he was a great president, because he didn't start any wars. And I'm like, yeah, pretty sure Obama didn't start any wars. Did he? Did he start some wars? Did Clinton start some wars? I know Clinton tried to stop wars in the Middle East. I know he sent troops into Kosovo and into Bosnia-Herzegovina, but I mean, those wars were already raging. They didn't start them. They didn't invade someone else's country like what George W. Bush did in regards to Afghanistan and Iraq, both massive disasters that led to suffering beyond measure. But yeah, that was the one thing they had. He never started a war. You know, like those other presidents who didn't start wars. Well done, mate. Great. Well, because he spent all his time at the golf course. But now what are they going to say? Not only is he planning to start a fucking war with Panama, which doesn't have an army, so, you know, should be over quite quick, but I don't fancy the chances of the Americans who live there. I mean, I never expected the leopards to eat my face, sobs woman who voted for Leopards Eating Faces Party. Wow. So here we are. Will you rule out military engagements in Greenland and Panama? No, says Trump. And his power is pretty much unlimited, and that leaves the rest of us, squishy little humans, fucked in so many ways. Because here's the thing, right? When we had a huge problem with Somali piracy, back about 15 years ago, it meant that the price of goods coming from China went through the roof. Like, I mean, they went up a lot, substantially. Why? Because ships had to pay more for their insurance. They had to put in security measures, razor wire fence around the outer perimeter of the ship. And that's probably not the right technical term for it, but whatever. Ways of getting rid of the pirates. And then eventually, once the International Maritime Organization decided, okay, listen, you can have armed guards on board your ship, they had to have 4 armed guards on their ship, which they'll pick up in Sri Lanka, and they will stay on the ship all the way up to Egypt, and then they'll go back and forth and back and forth. And there had to be 4 because you had to have 2 on duty at any one time, and obviously you need to sleep. So 4 armed soldiers. So every single ship needed more insurance, armed soldiers, cost more to run the ship. That cost was passed on to you, the consumer. One of many reasons why everything has got so bloody expensive in the last 15 years is because of the Somali pirate situation. Then you look at what happened in the Suez Canal a couple of years ago when a ship got stuck in there, what's called the Evergrande or something, got stuck in the Suez Canal. And it blocked shipping on this major shipping lane. And what happened? I mean, there was a worldwide blip. I mean, you call it a blip. It was only for a few days. And yet it cost us, as countries around the world, billions of dollars, one ship, my friends. Now, here's the thing. Loads and loads of shipping goes through the Panama Canal. And it's very vulnerable. I mean, it's very, very vulnerable because, those ships. Okay, when you go past, let me draw a picture for you in your head. When you go past Somalia, or even the Seychelles, or I've got a Somali pirate map on the wall over here saying where the high risk region is, and it stretches all the way down to the almost the northern tip of Madagascar, on the southern edge. And then, you know where India goes down into a point? You draw a line straight down from there, meet it in the middle. Like, it actually goes into the southern hemisphere. It's such a large area. Right. So if you're in that area, if you're in the high-risk area, there is certain procedures. It's written on the map what you have to do. And one of them is full steam ahead, right? So whatever the maximum speed of your ship is, do that speed. So if your maximum speed is 21 knots, you fucking do 21 knots, okay? Through that whole area until you're safely out the other end, right? Have you ever seen a canal? Yeah? Did anyone watch Wallace and Gromit? Yeah? That joke about the canal boats? Because he was like, yeah, you can quick catch them, and the canal boats are moving really slowly. Yeah. You have to go really slow through a canal. You just have to. You can't motorboat your way through it. Especially if you are on a 300-meter long vessel going through, a Panamax vessel going through the Panama Canal. They're sitting ducks. They're sitting ducks. You think it was bad in Somalia? You've got a shipping lane that can be blocked so easily. It is almost, tearful how easily the Panamanian people, if they were, so minded to mount an insurgency against this foreign invader, had come and taken their canal off them, which they have spent billions of dollars of their own money on. Like America made its money back on that canal, which they had built for them, many, many times over before 1999. And since then, Panama has made upgrades, including new locks at Miraflores outside of Panama City, near the gateway to the Americas Bridge. New locks that they pay for. The Panamanian taxpayer paid for that. They had a referendum. Do you imagine this happened with HS2? They had a referendum to decide whether they should build new locks or not. And the people voted yes, build new locks. And now Trump wants to annex them? Wants to take them? Oh, I'll have that. Thank you. You think the people are going to stand for that? You think the Panamanian people? You don't know the Panamanian people. So, let me tell you about the Panamanian people. They are some of the most capable people I've ever met. I mean, they'll do fuck all if you're not there to tell, literally go and do that thing. But could you imagine a nation of sort of 4 million little MacGyvers? Like, everyone there is pretty much a MacGyver. You ask them to do something, they've done it. And you're like, wow. Where did you get the technical skills to do that? Did you learn it in a college or in an apprenticeship? And they're like, no, I just saw someone doing it once and now I can do it myself. Very, very, very capable people. And you can imagine how this will play out. So Trump sends in his troops to the Panama Canal zone. And what has them standing in a line? What's he going to do? Is he going to build watchtowers all the way along the Panama Canal? And have his men there, sitting ducks on top of it. I mean, oh my God. They're stupid. It burns. And if you go, well, Panama's a peaceful country. They don't have an army. They're like Alderaan. Yeah, but here's the thing. You might have noticed there's a lot of people around Panama who have a lot of weapons in Colombia. The FARC guerrillas, or in Mexico, where they're literally fighting a drugs war. A war. It's a war because over 1,000 people die every year. It's a technical war. In Mexico, they've got weapons. You think that those weapons can't be brought down to Panama? You think they can't be brought over from Colombia through the Darien Gap? Yeah, bless. The whole notion is awful, and it's a bad idea. It won't make any money for America, and a lot of people will suffer, and a lot of people will die because of Donald fucking Trump. And these knobheads who voted for him because, he was a great president, he was a great president because he didn't start any wars. Thank you very much, Phil Spicer, for the £5 super chat. Think Trump will also try and fiddle with the Second Amendment, retry for the third term. Also, can we have a vigil of solidarity outside the Panamanian embassy? Yeah, I mean, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have another vote. I don't think he's going to allow it. Yeah, the Democrats are so fucking naive. They suffer from this failure of imagination. The left are the most infuriating people in the world, and I speak as one of them. And I think maybe this is my experience, where I've been, my ADHD, maybe, which is supposed to get diagnosed tomorrow. Fingers crossed for me. I get some fucking medication to stop my brain operating at 1,000,000 miles an hour all the fucking time. Gets a bit tiring at the age of 45. I used to be able to keep up with it when I was younger. But yeah, I do really fucking stress out about this because the left just don't seem to have the imagination to think, yes, we will actually pull out the EU. Yes, Trump will win a second term. Yes, Trump will send his army into Panama and kill people for a canal that, like, he doesn't even know what it's for or what it does. He's never been on a ship except one of his twatty yachts full of underage children that he likes to rape because that's what he does when he can get away with it. You've got Elon Musk and Trump and all their little familiars going, oh my God, these grooming gangs. They were part of a grooming gang. You know, the most notorious paedophile in the whole of America. Do you remember him? Yeah, a guy called Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he had a gang of people. He had a list. He had a little black book. He had a list of people. They were all in his grooming gang. And Trump was in there, and fucking Musk was in there. And now they're going, oh my God, these Pakistani grooming gangs. Oh my God, the moral outrage all of a sudden. Hey, fuck, yes. I told you I wasn't in a good mood today, so, you know, I'm sorry. I probably won't get many super chats as a result, but it's just the way I'm feeling this morning. I'm absolutely irate at the fact that so many people in America, 77 million people, are so fucking stupid. And I'm trying not to use the word stupid because it just gets people's backs up if you call them stupid. It's better you call them lazy because no one likes to be called lazy, but they feel like they can do something about it. But lazy people who can't be arsed thinking for themselves, and so they get Fox News to do all the thinking for them. They get Facebook to do all their thinking for them. And as of yesterday, I don't think I'm going to be using Facebook or Instagram or Threads very much. I'm a bit worried about WhatsApp as well because Zuckerberg is turning it into a surveillance state. And he's going to decide what can be written on there and what can't. He's moving the HQ to Texas, where they have better freedom of speech laws for Nazis to be Nazis, and Facebook to pressure the German authorities to change their laws about, you know, supporting Nazis. Good one, dickheads. So if it is a free-for-all on Facebook, we have to destroy it. This is it, you know. It's fair game. It's fair game to destroy it. And I've got some really fucking spicy ideas of how we can destroy Facebook. I mean, it's on the edge anyway. It's practically fucking unusable. I don't know if anyone still uses Facebook, but it's just mostly adverts for shit and things you might be interested in, which you're not. You hardly ever find out what your mates are up to. Now, a friend of mine died last year and I didn't find out for 2 fucking months. 2 months. Because Facebook was just too busy telling me, here's what a street looked like 50 years ago, and here's what that same street looks like now. Hey! Yeah, not great, Facebook. So yeah, I'm off it for now. I mean, it's like with Twitter. I'm not gonna get rid of my account. I'm not gonna shut it down, but I just stopped using it every day. I just won't go on there to check stuff. So if you do want to get in touch with me, Facebook probably isn't the best way to do it at the moment. Just go to grahamdavidhughes.com and put something into the contact form. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Email. God. Email's old-fashioned. That makes me feel old. Oh, Sarah. Graham, here's a super chat. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That's very kind of you. Cheers. Good luck for tomorrow. Far right seems to have conquered all social media, says Phil. Yes. Yeah. Because outrage sells. Thank you very much for the super chat. Outrage sells much better than the truth. You know, this is the James O'Brien's fucking line about, there's always a queue for the ghost train, never a queue for the speaky weight machine. You know, I'm closing my Instagram and Threads this month. Closed Facebook years ago. The comments to Zuck on Threads is quite the scene. The anger is palpable. Yeah, I mean, if he is going to allow lies to be spread on that channel, and he's got rid of 40,000 fact checkers. You see, one of the criticisms of Facebook was that they didn't have enough people monitoring in different countries. So in Burma, for instance, there was stuff going up about the Rohingya Muslims who live there, and it was clearly racist, defamatory, stirring up ethnic tensions. And because Facebook didn't have enough translators to translate the Burmese, there was no one really monitoring it. So it was allowed to run amok. And what happened? Hundreds perhaps thousands of Rohingya Muslims were killed in the resulting ethnic violence. And that started on Facebook. And now what safety bars are there? Zuckerberg is taken away because he's been told to take them away by Trump and his fascist cohort of fucking lunatics. And that's what they are. And you know, like, if you know anyone who still thinks that Trump is a good man and he's going to do great for the world, you know, I don't advocate violence, so I can't say what I really want to say, but, like, just have a word with them. Maybe not gently. Just have a word with them. Like, just ask them how can they be so fucking stupid? Were they always that thick? Were they born like that, or did it develop did they have some kind of neurological condition? What went wrong? What went wrong that you look at this orange blob of a man, this warmongering, toady, fascist, obnoxious, rapist, child abuser, and go, yeah, he's the man for me. Yeah. Wouldn't leave him in charge of a fucking kindergarten, would you? Wouldn't leave him in charge of a school, but you wouldn't let him drive the school bus, would you? You wouldn't leave your dog with him for the fucking weekend, would you? But, you know, we'll give him the control of the fucking free world. Why not? Yeah? Yeah? God. And the worst bit of all this is that fucking Vladimir Putin, the vampire of Russia, that horrible little toad who has been in charge of Russia for 25 years, the gangster to run all gangsters, is sitting there laughing his sick little twisted arse off at all this. He's like, I can't believe they're so stupid. I set all these things up and people just fall for them. But there you go. Trump has a personality cult. Musk has a personality cult. Cult is one letter away from the word that I want to say, but I don't want to get demonetized. Alistair, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Rant away, Graham. Just do it. Make you feel better. We all love a good rant. Keep up the good fight. Thanks very much, Alistair. I can see myself getting very exhausted very fast. Trump isn't even in power yet. He's not even in power yet. And he's there ruining my life. Just like those fucking dickheads who foisted Brexit on us. Those similarly privately educated Nepo babies who said, yeah, hey everyone, why don't you Brexit so you can't live and work in all the other countries of Europe, but I still can because I'm rich and I was born into wealth and I can afford all the visas. Bastards, absolute bastards, and they get away with it. And so I'm looking for the copium. What's the copium? Here's the copium, people. There's more of us than there is of them. I'm talking about billionaires. Yeah? 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 That's all I'm saying. Well, probably won't be. Colin says, because US politics are skewed so far to the right, references of far left over there make me laugh. I don't consider Bernie Sanders or AOC occupy the same space as Corbyn. I don't think Corbyn's far left. His manifestos in 2017, 2019, fucking revolutionary, mate. It's just like, it was very similar to the actual manifesto that they brought out in 2024. Renationalise the railways, sort out the NHS, fix the country, fix the economy. It's same shit. In fact, the 2017 manifesto, which was mostly written by Andrew Fisher, was pretty much a carbon copy of the 2015 manifesto. They were just banking on the personality cult behind Corbyn, pushing them into some kind of lead. I mean, he won that. I know they destroyed the Tory majority, but Theresa May did that to herself. How did he not win against Theresa May? Oh my God. Remember that campaign she ran? Don't get me started on that. That's something else. I'm seeing a lot of advertising for cosmetic products and dental work. Working Turkey at the moment. I report and block. We'll be back to blogging and RSS feeds before you know it, says Nick and Dave. Oh, yeah, I'd like that. I've been shadowed. Something I need to tell you, right? So, I hate voice notes. I fucking hate them. I hate voicemail. I now hate voice notes. So voicemail will piss me off. You press 1 to hear your messages. Message sent at 12498264989 AM. And you just listen. Oh, just tell me the fucking message. And it's like, hey, it's Derek. Ring me back. Fucking thanks, Derek. I saw your number come up. It's okay. You don't need to leave a message to tell me to call you back. I can do that. I'm capable in some ways. Anyway, voice notes on WhatsApp. There's now a thing. If you go into your settings on WhatsApp, you can transcribe your voice notes. I mean, I shouldn't be saying thank you because, I'm saying thank you to fucking Zuckerberg's piece of shit Meta company. But essentially, it means that you don't have to listen to fucking voicemails anymore. One of the things I hate about voicemails is, right, you watch this show and I'm going to swear, right? So I'm assuming that you're not listening to this with the kids. I'm just assuming that because they should be in school and also because I'm going to swear. Whereas, with a voice note, you don't know what someone's going to say. And I'm mates with people like A. Thompson, who, 1 minute he'll say, "Hey, Graham, what you doing?" And then another minute he'll say, "Your dad's balls up me bum, rah, fuckers." And if I'm driving, for instance, and it comes up on my screen, play voice notes, I'm like, especially got the kids in the car. What am I doing? I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and a voice note comes up. What do I do? Because I've got the kids in the room with me, right? How do I fucking listen to the voice note? I have to get off of my fat ass and go and find some fucking headphones to put in me, or just go into another room. Why are you making me get off the couch, Marjorie? Why are you making me get off the couch? I don't want to get off the couch. God damn it. Anyway, you can see I'm in a bad mood today. He actually said he was going to do a bunch of things last time round. Why should I believe he'll actually do it this time? Well, are you pagan? Last time he didn't expect to win. Last time he didn't have the full force of the Republican Party behind him because they didn't expect him to win either. Half of them hated him. He was stymied at every turn. He didn't really know what he was doing. There wasn't a Project 2025, which was a handbook, a 900-page handbook to tell him what to do. They've been prepping for this for a very long time. And now that he's in a position of power, he is going to do whatever he can get away with. Up to and including just being a fucker. Anyway, listen, WhatsApp, you can now do that. So please do that. Voice transcribe, and it'll come up with the voice note, and underneath it'll tell you what they actually said. So you don't press the button in front of, your mother-in-law, and it's like, ha ha ha, bums, shits, tits, rah! And you're like, oh, turn the volume down. Anyway, I hate voice notes. Yes, Diz. Yes, I hate voice notes too. Nick and Diff, I like voice notes. You can't win it all, can you? I love that those two came into it's almost like a perfect yin and yang, that, isn't it? Diz is like, I hate voice notes, and Nick and Diff is like, I like voice notes. I still don't think he's got the follow through, Graham. Okay, well, I've been wrong before, but I just don't see what's going to stop him. It's like hoping that a psychopath's not going to kill a bunch more people when you've told them that they can totally go and kill a bunch more people. Hey, the Yorkshire Ripper. I tell you what, mate, I know we caught you and everything for like literally murdering prostitutes with a hammer, but what we thought we'd do is buy you a brand new hammer and tell you can have 3 prostitutes to kill on the house, like courtesy of the South Yorkshire Police. Always looking out for you. Yeah, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that happening? That's what's happened with Trump. That is what's happened. They have given a serial killer a fucking hammer and told him to go nuts. And you're hoping that he won't? I would like to share your optimism, but I don't. I really don't. I really fucking don't. Because there are more or less incompetent people behind him. There are more or less incompetent people behind him this time, says Facts. Yep. Boom, shit, tits. That's now my ringtone. Thanks, Graham. Brilliant. Love it. Missed my post of what's wrong in the USA. Also, sorry, Andrew. I missed it. Also, we're talking about voice notes. Is like if you're on a train and you've got one of those Apple devices, the Apple phone things, it's got no headphone jack anymore. So people just play the fucking sound, don't they? They just play the sound on the... Which is really irritating. So if someone does that, and I've told you this before, but if you missed it last time, if you're sitting on the train and someone's got their phone, especially if you're sitting opposite them on a table seat, and they're having a conversation on loudspeaker on their phone, join in. Go, all right, mate. And they're like, what? Who's that? It's Graham. How you doing, mate? Are you all right? You all right? And the other guy's like, what are you doing? I'm just having a chat. I thought you wanted everyone to join in. A bit like if you're crossing a zebra crossing and someone's sitting there in their Ford Fiesta or their VW Golf with the music loud, fucking, right to the top, boom, 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 like that. Start dancing. Just get in front of the car, right in front of the bonnet, on the zebra crossing, and just start dancing to their fucking shit music. Yeah, because that's what they want. Obviously, they want to share their shit music with the world. They never play anything good, do they? They never play anything good. It's always shite. It's always fucking awful music. And people are like, you must listen to my music. I don't want to listen to your music, mate. I can listen to my own music. That's fine. No. I'm driving fast in the car. I need you to listen to my music. I've got a stereo in my car. Technology. Hey, that's amazing. I can listen to music in my car. No one else can do that. Make your outgoing voice message. I don't use voicemail. If it is important, phone again in 30 minutes or send a text. Yeah, but that requires doing things, Mike. I can't be asked doing things. Right, I'm going to wrap up in a moment, but first I'm going to say thank you very much for GC giving me £5 super chat. Don't forget Musk is driving things. He's driving the car with the stupid music in, I think. Definitely. He's just been given far too much power. Because he is an unelected gobshite and a Nazi and a fascist and an apartheid era South African. I think he can go fuck himself to, on unalivement. Anyway, here's the papers. Hello, papers. We've got the Times here saying patients wait 2 day waits in A&E. This is in Liverpool. It's really shit. SAS faces war crimes accusation by a rival unit. There you go. That's in the Telegraph. Trump, I'll take Greenland and Panama Canal. Imagine if it was some left-winger who said that. It would be like, deranged Maduro says he will annex Panama. It's like, the way they report it, you can just tell they're so up his arse. Rapid war there, -20, Arctic snow and ice blast hit to UK. Like, it'll be -20 in some kind of wind tunnel in an island off the coast of Scotland. Everywhere else, it's not going to be quite so disastrous, but there you go. And there's a picture of Zendaya here who's got engaged to her boyfriend Spider-Man, which is exciting. We've got McDonald's special here, Predator's Paradise. McDonald's, basically 700 staff and ex-workers start legal action over abuse claims. Phenomenal. That should shut down McDonald's. This is why the capitalist system is so flawed. That should be the end of McDonald's. That's it. You're done. You've had your chance. You fucking blew it. You didn't put safeguards in place. You can fuck off. But we live in a system in which the school that James O'Brien, who you might have gone to listen to, so if you have, bye. James O'Brien went to Ampleforth, had 2 chapters about it in the inquiry into historic sexual abuses from grooming gangs and the church and school, private schools mostly, but also some state schools. 2 chapters of that were just on Ampleforth, and it's still a school. It's still a school. It still makes money. It's still a private business that makes loads of money. I know it's supposed to be a charity, but that's bullshit. And people still send their children to this school that has the worst reputation in the world, not in the world, maybe in Britain, I don't know, for abusing children. And parents go, no, here's my child. Look after them. People are messed up, aren't they? Sacrificing their children to the temple of fucking capitalism. The shrine. How to survive a Yeti attack. Okay, whatever. The Daily Heil. AE in crisis as flu spikes. There you go. And there's a picture of Timothy Chalamet kissing Kylie Jenner. Okay, cool. For some reason. I don't know why I know these people. I don't want to. Social media giants. I know Timothy Chalamet because he was in Wonka. That's okay. And June. He was all right in that. And he was also in... I think he was in Interstellar. Let me know in the chat. Anyway, moving on. Social media, crackdown on online, defy UK crackdown on online safety. This is the online safety bill that's coming in. Zuckerberg joins Musk in criticising UK and EU over online safety rules. Why would they want the internet to be a safe place for people? Because they don't. Meta reigns in fact-checking as Chief Zuckerberg builds bridges to Trump. That's the front cover of the Financial Times there. And then sick TikTok click shock for Labour. Party pulls plug. Paul Starmer with track boasting about sex, drugs, and violence against girls. They put a video up and it was bollocks, but they had this music on it and it's in Portuguese. I didn't check the lyrics, and it was, the video itself was just abominable. I don't know if any of you saw it. It was AI generated animals. It was just horrible on every level. It was horrific. But there you go. The Labour Party don't want help from the likes of me or Phil. They just want to do their own thing. And their own thing appears to be behaving like a grandparent does on social media and going, oh, look, a nice picture of a minion. Here you go. It's a minion. Anyway, moving on. Right, stinking Bishop Cheese Forever says, Unquiet Badger. Absolutely. I've been boycotting McDonald's for years. Well, since McDonald's for protesters, yes, that long ago. That's from Anne Phillips. Whatever, the McLibel trial. And FFS, Brian Blessed, lol. The orangutan likes McDonald's. They said -20 last time. We got -1 and a light drizzle. Yeah, I know. It's hyperbole, my friends. Hyperbole. Throw me in the hyperbole. Give me a hyperbole of chips. Right. I'm off. I'll be back at 12 for Prime Minister's Questions, the first of the year, in which Kemi Badenoch's going to try and defend her record of not doing anything to defend women and girls when she was the Minister for Literal Women and Girls. But there you go. Or to say the literal Minister for Women and Girls, and she did nothing to help them at all. No, she's like, oh, we need another inquiry. We had an inquiry. Cost millions to inquire. It ran for 7 years. There were findings. There was briefing. There was things to do, like, suggestions that the government could enact. And what did the Conservative government do? Threw the fucking report in the fucking bin. That's what the Conservative government like to do. Republican, Conservative, whatever. They like to just, commission a report. We can't talk about this thing because there's a report going on. We don't want to unduly influence the report. Okay, so we don't talk about it. And then the report comes out and they go, oh, thanks for that. Throw it in the fucking bin. That's what they do, because they're gobshites. Anyway, you're not a gobshite. You're fucking lovely. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you at 12 for PMQs. Or you can join me at 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to have our first episode of The Intersection next week. But this week at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be making this. It's a globe. It's a Lego globe. It's a globe. And I've got me little GoPro ready. I've got my GoPro so you'll be able to see my desk because I put it together. And we're going to talk politics and we're going to put together the globe. I don't know if I'll get it all done in the show. It might take me 2 hours and therefore I'll have to leave it after an hour. But we'll see how far we get. Come build with me at 6 o'clock today. Otherwise, if you've got better things to do for the rest of the day, I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 for another morning brew, another morning rant. I think I'm going to change the name to a morning rant. Morning brew sounds too nice and gentle for what I want to say. So yeah, it's a Death Star. It's not a Death Star, it's a globe. Ooh, it could be a Death Star though, couldn't it? Oh, I should tell people I've got the Death Star. Wow, says Gary Arnold. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I got bought that for Christmas by friends of mine who are just wonderful, wonderful friends. So yes, you take care. Give us a like on the way out. It's very important. If you don't give me a like, then you won't have given me a like. But if you would, that'd be great. And until next time, I'll say thanks for the chat. Thanks for the super chats. And I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye. Oh, no, that's the intro sequence. Oh, I'm not having a good day today. End. That's better.